Oh, there's a fish on the micro jig. Just for something different, I thought I'll throw on the jig. And look what's happened. Little Mr. Flatty's decided he's going to try and lay on it. Hey, it takes real skill to catch a fish in the tummy. Not exactly how I was planning to make my first capture of the day, but see you, mate. Hey. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to check my sounder, look for any signs of bait holding. There seems to be some just around here on this little drop off, so I'm going to sink the jig down. Just popping it up off the bottom, letting it flutter back down, only lifting it 30 or 40 centimetres at a time, sometimes a little bit more. Like I said, I'm no expert at this. I've just been sort of playing around and watching other people do it, reading about it, learning, and now it's time to try and put it into a little bit of action. Oh, what's that? Is it a fish? It feels like a fish. Swimming like a fish. It's woken up like a fish. On the micro jig. Just jigging through a little bait school. I think it's probably a flathead. Hasn't done very much yet. Got a bit of drag on it, so I might loose that back off. Don't want to pull that hook. There he goes. So I'm sitting in 5 metres of water and I just marked some bait fish on my little sounder. I dropped a micro jig down through them and gave them a few rips. I haven't done a lot of micro jigging before. It's definitely not something that I've specialised in, but I'm always keen to give new things a try, and that's what today's about, giving some new things a try. And so far, as long as I can get this one in, it's not a bad start. It's only 8 pound leader. If it is a decent flathead, it'll have nice big raspy teeth, and I just have to take my time and hope that everything works out well. So as you can see, it's woken up now after a fairly sluggish start. Putting a decent bend in the old 2 to 4 kilo brim rod. It's digging down deep now. I'm trying to keep my rod as close to horizontal as possible, not lifting it up too high. There's the big mullet cruise by in the background there. This has the feeling of being a nice flathead. Quite often they'll just do a burst or two and then just sit deep. Like I said, I'm trying not to rush it. This is the moment that you fish for, and it's easy to get overexcited and anxious. So sometimes it's hard to just sit back and savor the moment of the fish actually being attached. I can see my leader knot there just above the water, so I've only got about a metre and a half to go before I can actually see what we've got here. Just going to do a quick camera check. Yes, camera is active. I'd hate to think that I was missing all of this. Oh, it's starting to plane up towards the surface. I'm going to get the net, which is normally a Yep, he's seen the kayak and thought, no, I don't want any part of that. It's either hooked in an unusual position or it's quite a decent fish. It's very hard to tell. I still haven't really caught much of a glimpse of it yet. It's happy just sitting underneath the kayak. £8 braid, £8 leader, 2 to 4 kilo rod, 1000 size reel. I don't have a lot of muscle to put on this fish, so I'm just sort of at the moment in a bit of a stalemate. It's sitting about a metre below the kayak. I'm out in the middle of 6 metres of water at the moment, so there's no danger of it busting me off on anything, but I also don't want to push too hard. Okay, I've got I think I've just caught sight of a decent flathead down underneath the kayak. Like I was saying before, it is very hard to remain calm. But you just have to trust that both you've got a bit of luck on your side and also trust in the fact that you've tied good knots, used good tackle, and can rely on your drag to help you win these little tussles. I haven't won it yet by a long way. It's still very much up in the air. I can only still just see that leader knot bubbling above the water, and it just doesn't want to come up that last little bit. Might actually not be a flathead after all of this. It's very hard to tell in this murky water. It could be a little jewfish. Or maybe even a tailor. I'd say it's a tailor. And I've hooked him in the side. That's why he's fighting so hard. Yeah, I know, mate, I know. I just can't get you to come that last little bit, can I? So close. So close again. Can't turn his head because of where the hook is placed. There we go. What a fight. Light gear. Don't know if there's water all over the lens because I feel like I've got a bit on my face. So I'm going to check that lens. Good fish. There we go. So there's that micro jig. It's caught him just, he's had a swipe at it, and it's caught him just in front of the pectoral fin there. Now if you've ever wondered why they call them chopper Tailor, look at those teeth in there. What do we think about that? That's not bad. It's a good Tailor. Plenty of bait fish going down that hole. It's in good condition. Beautiful fish. You ready to go back, mate? It was quite a long fight. Off he goes. See you, buddy. Oh, yep, there we go. There's a fish on the jig again. Is it another Tailor? Or a flatty this time? It's a flatty on the jig. Getting jiggy. Caught in the mouth. Come here, little fella. Hello, little fella. Yeah, I know. I know. No, get out of there. Off he goes. Micro jig, micro fish. Good, yourself? I picked up a decent Tailor through this spot earlier on the micro jig, so I'm not sure if it's another Tailor. I'm hoping for a Jewy, but if it's a Jewy, I expect it'll have another run soon. I'm only running 5 pound and 8 pound, so I could be here for a while. It's fighting very similar to the Tailor did earlier, so Silver. Sorry? Yeah, I think it is. Actually, it's a little school Dewey. Yeah, it is. Not a big one, but that's what I was hoping for. Sorry, mate? Yeah. He's in the net. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Look at that. There we go. Look at that in the sun. Beautiful. Not a big one, but it's a Dewey. There we go. What are we going to call him? We're going to call him 58 and a half. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. You ready to go? Yeah. Good stuff. Hey, Simon.
Hey mate, how are you?
Good, mate. Thanks for joining me for that capture.
No worries mate, it's a good little Dewey.
It was, mate. Very good. Hope you get onto one too.
No